Bo Nickal might be the most privileged UFC fighter ever. Why do I say that? Why am I putting him above a John Jones, a Conor McGregor? Oh yeah, John Jones is more privileged than Conor. Well, I could make a whole video explaining that to you, but let's just leave it there. John Jones and Conor McGregor, and maybe some of the Dagestani guys, have been the epitome of Dana White privilege. Bo Nickal might be the new poster child, okay? Let me explain. So Bo Nickal, Dana White Contender Series, okay? Dana White Contender Series. Well, actually, let's go back farther than that. Bo Nickal, if you're not aware, is one of the most accomplished NCAA wrestlers in the history of the United States. United States better. I'm sorry. It just is. At wrestling, I'm sorry, we're the best. If you want to go off grappling, it's us and Brazil. That's it. If anybody wants to bring up Dagestani, Russia, where are they and all this, friendly reminder. When we had a team grappling event, okay? The quintet. We had Brazilian teams, 10th Planet teams, Team International, the Dagestani team. We had them all fight each other, okay? The two teams that they thought were going to make it to the finals. This is a ADCC rule grappling event. We take in, you can win as a wrestler. Most wrestlers win ADCC. They just do. That's the rule set we went by. The two teams that were thought to be in the number 1 and number 2 was B Team, an American team coming out of Austin, and Team International, the Dagestani crew. Guess who made it to the finals? B Team and 10th Planet. The Dagestani team didn't even get out of the bracket. They didn't even make it to the finals. So yeah, no, if we're going to talk about pure grappling, it's the US and Brazil right now. So Bo Nickal is a 2-division NCAA wrestling champion, is a proficient in pretty much folk style, Greco. The dude is accomplished. He is our Dagestani. You guys have the Dagestani guys. We have the Ginzers. So we were already hyped when he's coming in. Had that little weird grappling event with Gordon Ryan. Let's be real here. Gordon Ryan submits just about everybody. So Bo Nickal comes into Dana White Contender Series, does well, gets a first-round finish in his first fight. We give him a second fight, does very well, submits the guy. Okay, hype is there. Maybe we can put him on like a prelim, right? No. We put him on the main card. We gift him a main card spot on one of the most stacked cards of the entirety of last year, Jones versus Cyril Gahn. And many people thought that Bo Nickal versus Val Woodburn, somebody who is 0-2 in the organization, who, let's be real, is about to get kicked. That's what's going to happen. One more loss, he's done. When we saw that was kind of a blemish on the Jones card. There were fights on the prelims you could put above Bo Nickal. But we gift him that. I'm not even really sure why. Does well. Val Woodburn turned out not to be that good. Let's just be real. Has punching power. Bo Nickal does have power. I'm going to say that. Val Woodburn was able to eat punches in his next fight. I will say this. His next fight was in welterweight, so he wasn't a true 185er. He couldn't really cut the weight. So, yeah, no, that's a little blemish on his record. So we gift him a spot on the main card. And a stacked card, mind you. And then what's next for Bo Nickal? Bo Nickal does a lot of interviews, does the MMA Hour with Ariel Helwani, and talks about his next fight with Cody Brundage. Ariel Helwani, as much shit that I give Ariel, was asking a lot of the questions that I would be asking. Do you think you should get a bigger step up in talent if you're going to be fighting on that card? Like, let's be real here. Bo Nickal versus Cody Brundage. I'm not even mad that Bo Nickal's on the main card. I'm mad that he's fighting Cody Brundage. Somebody, let's be real here, is not main card worthy. He never really has been. He is a prelim guy. And Bo Nickal says, well, I don't want to get any different treatment. This is my 5th MMA fight. I want to come up like every other fighter. I know people are saying that I deserved a ranked opponent when I should be fighting a champion, which, cap, we're not saying that. But I want to come up like everybody else does and prove my worth. Okay, fair. Then why are we putting you on the main card? You see, I understand the sentiment behind what he's saying here. He doesn't want special treatment because he doesn't want to be accused of having this privilege, Dana White privilege, all of that. But he wants a spot on the main card. Because here's the difference. If we sought you up the rankings like Alex Pereira, right? Alex Pereira is notorious. People do give Alex Pereira shit for being, like, basically given a speed run up the rankings to fight Israel Adesanya, but how did it go? How did it go? Alex Pereira did good. It is worse. I will defend this with my life. Getting speed runned up the rankings to fight for the title is more difficult than fighting 3 cans in a ranked opponent. O'Malley had a harder time going up the rankings. Switch. Darren Till had a tougher time up the rankings to fight Tyron Woodley than Sean O'Malley did going up the rankings. His toughest fight before the title was Petr Yan over 3 rounds. And even that he arguably lost. We gave him 3 cans, Pedro Munoz, no contest, and then we gave him Petr Yan. Darren Till was rocketed up the rankings because they wanted to make another Conor McGregor, only for him to get destroyed by prime Tyron Woodley. Alex Pereira, Bruno Silva in his debut couldn't KO him. Some no-names. They gave him a no-name guy. They rocketed him up the rankings, give him a Strickland. He KOs Strickland, something that they wanted to happen, and then he beats Israel Adesanya. He was rocketed up the rankings, and they did give him those main event spots because he was fighting opponents that were in that caliber, similar to him. Fights that we wanted to see. Strickland versus Alex Pereira is a main card bout. Bo Nickal versus Cody Brundage is not a main card bout for any card, unless Henry Cejudo versus Aljamain Sterling is the main event, or it's a women's championship fight. I wouldn't mind being that on the main card. But Bo Nickal versus Cody Brundage is not a main card bout, and he's getting salty about it. Bro's talking. He is not happy with the amount of shit that he's been given. And in fact, so let me tell you what the bout order was, okay? It was Charles Oliveira versus Arman Tsarukyan. And then it was Bo Nickal, Cody Brundage. I'm just going to keep it to that, okay? That was the first 2 fights of the main card. And then, a few days ago, it might have just happened yesterday because that's when I got the news. Bo Nickal versus Cody Brundage was moved from that spot to below Charles Oliveira and Arman Tsarukyan as the main card opener. And Bo Nickal was talking about, well, this is a better spot. I don't even understand how you're on the main card. And it's not a jab at Bo Nickal, really. If it was Bo Nickal versus Ikram Aliskerov, I would not mind this at all. That is a main card bout. Arman Tsarukyan is fighting on the main card. Nobody cares because he's first off, he's in that top 5 talent. He beat Beneil Dariush. He could be fighting for a title after he beats Charles, if he beats Charles. But Arman Tsarukyan's top 5 talent. Charles Oliveira's top 5 talent. You could put him in there. Maybe the main card bout, you could do Bo Nickal, Ikram Aliskerov. I guess, maybe. In my mind, that should still be on the prelims because Yuri Prohaska versus Rakic is competing for a number 1 contendership. That's above Bo Nickal, and I don't care what you say. I know Bo Nickal's probably going to become a champion. He is. He's probably going to become a champion. Yuri Prohaska was the main event of one of the most stacked cards that I've seen in the UFC. UFC 295 last year. Against Alex Pereira. Okay, we went from that main event to the fucking prelims. That is so crazy to me. Cody Garbrandt versus Davison Figueiredo is, to me, close to the same caliber. I would actually put Davison Figueiredo versus Cody Garbrandt over Bo Nickal and Cody Brundage because Cody Brundage pulls it down that far. That's the prelim opener. Renato Moicano versus Jalen Turner is on the card. That has more championship significance, more significance to the division than Bo Nickal versus Cody Brundage. Okay? I'm not mad that Bo Nickal is on the main event because of Bo Nickal. I'm mad that Bo Nickal's on the main event because he's not fighting somebody that I think deserves it, Cody Brundage. The question that I wished Ariel asked Bo Nickal, and honestly, it would be my question to Bo Nickal. Do you believe Cody Brundage is a main event talent? Yes or no? If he says yes, in his mind, that is a main event fight for UFC 300. If he says no, back to the fucking prelims. That is the very simple thing that you can say. Aljamain Sterling fought O'Malley in the main event of his last fight. He's now fighting Calvin Kattar on the prelims. Now listen, I have no problem with this as an audience member, but as a person that's looking at this from like, I see what you're doing. You're grooming Bo Nickal to be the next superstar. They're going to give him the O'Malley treatment. I just want to prepare you guys for that. Bo Nickal is going to be given Cody Brundage one more can, somebody that's kind of in that lower rankings, and then they're going to throw him into they're not going to call it a number one contenders match, but believe me, it's a number one contenders match. And then they're going to throw him into a title shot and make the champion fight when they're not aware on fighting. And that is how Bo Nickal's going to become champion. That's my little glimpse into the future. Unless he gets horrifically KO'd. They're giving him the O'Malley treatment. They're putting him on main cards that he frankly shouldn't be on. They did the same thing with O'Malley when they put him on a lot of the same cards as Conor. That is what they're doing. They're trying to associate Bo Nickal with Jon Jones. They're trying to associate Bo Nickal as a main event fighter on UFC 300, even though he's not. They're trying to get you to associate Bo Nickal with actual stars in the UFC, so you'll believe he's a star. That is what they're doing. That is why he's on the card. Never mind everything. I'm just mad Cody Brundage is on the main card of UFC 300, putting a blemish on this card. Let's just be real here, is already like, I mean, you starved 301. You had to pull Jose Aldo out of retirement to fight fucking Panto. No, that would be wild. You had to bring Jose Aldo out of retirement to fight Martinez. But there you go. That's my little rant on there. Bo Nickal. It's not that Bo Nickal doesn't deserve to be on the main card. Cody Brundage doesn't. That's my whole rant on it. Tell me what you think in the comment section down below. And adios, guys.